Yeah, welcome everyone. This is John Boynton with Everything Entrepreneurship. We are a podcast every so often talking to entrepreneurs about the companies that they run and what they're doing in the world. And entrepreneurs out there, what you can learn and discern from the entrepreneurs that we talk to. Today, I'm joined from James Hilton. He's with Jim's Gym. It's a gym that you started. It's an online gym. And James, well, good to meet you. Tell me all about yourself and your company.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on, John. It's yeah. Well, look, I'm based in the UK, and I'm a personal trainer. It's not something I've done for forever. I started this career around about 5 years ago. So my background, and just to paint a little bit of picture for the listeners, is that I came from a quite corporate background and built or worked my way up the corporate ladder, the never-ending corporate ladder in London. And actually, I realised that it was never-ending after about 15 years, and my passion for what it was I was doing, which was a very different industry and sector I was working in, really kind of declined. And
Yeah.
whilst I was doing, basically I ended as a sort of a sales director, which I guess is like a VP of sales in the US, working in the drinks industry. And yeah, I was selling sort of packaging and design solutions for alcoholic beverages and soft drinks as well. So I did a lot of work in the US. In fact, I lived in Miami for a bit, and we had clients across the US and South America, from different likes of Anheuser-Busch, the likes of Brown Foreman, Molson Coors, the list goes on. And yeah, I enjoy a drink. Do I really care what it looks like? Not that much. Not that much. I thought I did, and it was an amazing gig. It was amazing, a gig, an amazing job that I had for over sort of 10 years doing that, traveling a lot. It was great, but it reached a place whereby I wasn't happy anymore, and we needed to make some changes. I had a young family, and we actually made a really big decision to leave London at the time. We kind of packed in our jobs. We rented out our flat that we had in London at the time, and went traveling. So myself, my now wife, and my firstborn son, who was one at the time, or turned one while we were away, and we did 6 months, 7 months of traveling, and we spent 4 months in Asia traveling around, and then we did like 2.5, 3 months in New Zealand. So we did some camper vanning and some other bits. So whilst I was away, I think when I went away, I was not in a particularly happy place, and we decided pretty quickly we didn't want to go back to London. We didn't want to go back to our regular jobs, and something that really helped me, and it's quite anecdotal, and I probably wouldn't use this as my sort of sales patter, my sales pitch now, but it's getting fit, doing exercise was something that really helped me overcome some of the I guess the mental health issues that I was sort of battling with at the time. And I felt like, well, let's retrain, let's qualify something else, let's take a new path, and see where it takes me. And yeah, fast forward 5 years, and a lot a lot has happened. And it's gone from just qualifying, specializing in an area whereby, you mentioned it at the start. I think you mentioned it at the start. If you didn't, I work exclusively with people over 50 years old,
Yeah.
and I help people for the best part. A big part of my business is one-to-one personal training. So I help people overcome injury, pain, illness. I work a lot with people that are either suffering with various situations. Could be I work with a couple of people that have Parkinson's. I work with people with dementia and Alzheimer's. It could be rehabilitation from hip replacement, knee replacement, that type of thing. Chronic pain, something that I deal with a lot of my clients. But my sweet spot, and the thing I love doing the most, is helping people find enjoyment in exercise.
Mm.
And that is such a big barrier to keeping fit, I think, for a lot of people, is that they just think that exercise is pretty crummy. It's not that much fun. It's hard, and it's a chore. And actually, I'm doing a lot of work at trying to reframe the way that people approach exercise, what it looks like to them, And that is kind of leads me on. It's a bit of a kind of crammed all that in there, but it leads me on to Jim's Gym. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I've discovered, I've got my own gym here. And I quickly discovered that, working one-to-one with people is amazing, and being hands-on with people and, seeing real, up close outcomes and improvements in people's lives and situations, you can only work with so many people one-to-one, right? And it's it became clear that I had to develop, if I wanted to work with more people, I had to develop something that more people could access. And that, easily comes from, I say easily, we're going to how difficult it is shortly, but ultimately comes with helping people in a group scenario, in an online situation, so I can help people hypothetically all around the world get fit from the comfort of their homes, which is what Jim's Gym is. So Jim's Gym is a platform. It's an online gym and community aimed at people who ultimately can't go to a gym for whatever reason, don't want to go to a gym because for whatever reason, a lot of people just don't want to go to the gym, or they are probably either beginners and don't really know where to start, but know they should be doing something. Maybe the doctor has told them that they need to improve their health, or perhaps they're pre-diabetic and they need to get a bit fitter. Maybe it's arthritis, and maybe weight management could help them overcome sort of chronic pain, this type of thing. But ultimately give people an option to incorporate fun, accessible, inclusive, affordable fitness options from the comfort of home. And that's what Jim's Gym is. So it's been going for about a year, and it's growing exponentially.
Yeah. Well, that's great. How many people are you working with right now?
So I currently have I have a free Facebook group. I don't know if I'm allowed to plug that.
No, yeah,
I
it's
have a
totally
I have a free Facebook group which is called the Friends of Jim's Gym Fitness Community,
great.
and that's around about
Oh,
2,300
wow.
people at the
Okay.
moment.
Yeah.
And that's I'm a firm believer that not getting fit and doing exercise. One, we know that we can get it for free in an abundance, on the likes of YouTube and this, that, and the other. And two, I don't think it should come at a cost. I think everyone should be able to get fit and hopefully find something that they enjoy doing without spending money on it. So in that group, I offer enough free content for anybody to get started on a fitness journey.
That's great.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like the starting place for a lot of the members, and then within that group, if you want a little bit more, if you you want to be part of a sort of a tighter community, ultimately as well, we're talking about entrepreneurship here, and I do need to support my own family, and I need to create a business out of it. But my sort of values and my ethos for this business is to be able to provide as much value as I can for as little money as I can for the member. So from that group, if you want more, you can pay a little bit more. In the UK, it's £12.99 a month, or I do it's £129 for the year. So you get 2 months free. So basically, you get 12 months for the price of 10 if you join for the year. And
Great.
then for that, you get 10 live classes with me a week. I've just introduced Tai Chi. I'm introducing a yoga class next week. I'm introducing Pilates at the beginning of April. And I'm just exploring and have had a brilliant conversation with a dance instructor to hopefully bring in some dance classes in the middle of April as well. So getting back to your original question, paying members at the moment is over 150 people.
Oh, wow,
So
that's great. Um,
yeah.
so I'd be interested. I know, folks who are watching the show are often entrepreneurs. They haven't, they have their own companies, or they are currently working, at a company. They're experiencing something similar to what you experienced when you were working
Mm.
in Miami, where they just sort of the bottom fell out as far as what they were enjoying about life and work and everything. And so you were able to make a transition over to your own business, and with doing something you enjoy, something you're passionate about, something you feel like that's helping people, all these great things. there's a lot of people who are on the beginning track of that and are a long way from figuring out how to get to the starting their own job or their own business, and being passionate about life and all the rest of it. I'd be interested to hear your story about how you got from there to here. What was it like, figuring out what type of company you wanted to do? How was that process for you after when you're traveling the world and all of that? If what's some advice we could give to entrepreneurs who are in that sort of "I'm unhappy with things" area?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd like, if you don't mind, I'd like to direct this advice to kind of a specific group of people that are thinking about doing something like this, and think that maybe it's beyond them. For myself, I think a lot of my career, I kind of felt this about myself, and I think it was as a result of the way that I was perhaps spoken about at school and things like that. I wasn't great at school, and it was just a place that I love sport, but I wasn't very good at the academic side of things, and people told me that I wasn't very good at those types of things in an era that perhaps I don't think teachers probably speak to children the way that I was spoken to at school. And I think for a long time, it really sort of, I see it now that it kind of left me with this feeling that like I was lazy, and I didn't turn up on time, and I was scared of hard work and all of these things. Now, fast forward to where I'm at today, and coming out of that career, still having that sort of cloud over my head a little bit, being like, well, could I be further up the ladder if I was this person, if I was more like hungry for it all and all that sort of stuff. And I think that if I found something that I absolutely love. And I think my wife will tell you now that perhaps I work too hard, and it just goes to show that there is absolutely not a lazy bone in my body,
Yeah.
and I've shown that to myself. And I've my advice, is such an easy thing to say, but there's so many nuances around it. But it is to try and figure out that thing that you are just so passionate about. And for me, it was about helping people. Over time, over the last 5 years, I've sort of filtered into a niche of working with a demographic, such as people over 50 years old, and having that little bit more of a focus on, people that just don't enjoy exercise, really, and obviously that injury and illness thing we spoke about earlier. And I found myself in an industry and sector that I love. I care about helping people. That's why I do this job. I think if you come into being a personal trainer for the money, I think you might be barking up the wrong tree a bit. You need to love this job because and love helping people. That's what this is all about. And what that passion to do that for me has just made my work ethic. I can be, I have to be told to stop working, whether it's reading research papers about how to help someone overcome a specific situation, whether it's updating my website, whether it's putting out social media, all of these things that come with running a business. I could be doing it all the time. Now, I'm not, lazy is just not a word that I would use in any sense now. And people say, well, you don't exercise because you're lazy. Well, that is just utter nonsense. It's because they haven't found the type of exercise that they enjoy doing. Like I hadn't found the type of work I enjoyed doing. Well, now I have. And I believe that if you can just if you're passionate about something and you have a business idea, then just run with it. It doesn't have to jump off. We jumped off a cliff in the sense of leaving everything and restarting. Our lives fitted that, which was that situation that we were faced with, and everything just worked out. And that's part luck, but it's part just being able to being in a fortunate situation to follow this journey. But these things can be started on the side. For example, you can become a personal trainer and do it part time and qualify and do all these things and just take it slowly, but figure out that thing that you really that's really important to you. That could be well, I don't need to go in lots of examples, but it could be animals, it could be people, it could be a particular product or whatever.
Yeah. Really, it's just about
Conversation.
slowing down, and is about just slowing down enough to figure out what you're passionate about. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, they start to think about that stuff, but I think they're afraid to jump off, like you said. But
Yeah, I think as well, like it comes, I mean, for me it came at a time of life as well. I think, I did 15 years in London, and it was great, and 15 years in London with my friends, and maybe work probably was quite secondary to having a social life, and then you have children and things start to get a little bit more serious. But
Yeah.
that you can't just keep on pursuing something that you have no interest. We're not on this planet long enough, as far as I'm concerned, to be pursuing something that just doesn't bring any sort of happiness or
Yeah.
joy.
No,
Um,
I definitely feel that as well, especially as I get older, for sure. So speaking of getting older, primarily with Jim's Gym, your online
hmm,
training that you do, like you said, it's for over 50 folks. A lot of it is. So
yeah.
what sort of attracts you to that age group?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, going back to, if we're staying on the entrepreneurship sort of topic here as well, like ge- you having a niche, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
when I started as a personal trainer, I was working in a private sort of studio gym, which was just personal training, and the majority of the clients, not all, but the majority of the clients were over 50 years old, give or take. And the one thing that really became apparent to me was that of this generation, of this type of person that came to see me, was that a lot of them hadn't either done a lot of fitness, whatever you call that, whatever you want to call that. They hadn't been keeping fit for a long time. They were perhaps new to it, never really done it before. And the thing that stuck out with this demographic versus like a younger age group is that change came so quickly. And
Hmm.
I'm not talking like body transformations. I'm not talking like, weight loss. I'm talking about how these people felt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, these people just, had thought that, they're just taken their mobility or their movement or their fitness for granted
Mm.
for a long time, and it doesn't take long. But like 4 weeks, and people are feeling fitter. They're able to get up the stairs without huffing and puffing. They can get in and out of a chair without all those like sort of croaks and aches and pains. They feel stronger. They're more capable. A lot of them, I've got clients at the moment that feel completely confident picking up their grandchild now when they didn't, a month or two ago, because
Mm.
they were scared of hurting themselves or dropping or whatever.
So
Hopefully not.
this is the big thing that's attracting you. One of your favorite things about the work is the mental transformation of the over 50s and over 55 folks. That must feel really good, huh?
Feels ace, and it feels ace because, like I say, a lot of people, especially, and again, if we're talking about like pain, chronic pain, people live with this stuff for a long time. I've got a client at the moment who has been living with really unbearable chronic pain
Mm.
for quite a long time, and we've done like 3 or 4 sessions. I'm not saying I've got like a magic touch or anything, but by
Yeah.
just trying to train her and work with her through exercises that are relevant to what she does in day-to-day life, which is a lot of hill climb. Where I live, it's very hilly, a lot of long walks, these types of things, and just trying to train her to be able to better perform in those situations, making very specific exercise programs to her. It's not just throw a load of exercise at someone and hope they stick. It's about creating an experience that is relevant to a person to start off with, and helps them in the particular activity they want to be better at. And with a bit of luck, if we've been signed off by a doctor, if we've had diagnosis and all those types of things, we can start helping people work through those situations with a bit more precision. And like I say, within like 3 or 4 weeks, this lady is overcoming the pain that she's been like really suffering from for a long time. And it doesn't take a lot, and it's really fantastic.
And you're basically working with folks in retirement villages a lot, or you have programs that are being basically being utilized in retirement. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah. So part of Jim's Gym. Part of Jim's Gym is just helping general public, Facebook ads and people off Facebook, online, wherever it is, all your local groups and things like that, for individuals to come and join Jim's Gym. But a big part of what it is that Jim's Gym is doing now is going to be working with retirement villages. So the fitness is one part of Jim's Gym. Community is another. So, the idea is that in communal areas within retirement villages, you can get together, you can do live classes together, which is great. It's really fun. We mentioned live classes earlier. Why I like live classes so much is that actually the feedback generally is like, you feel like you're the only one in the room. You are, because it's your living room, but you're you're working one to one with the trainer, and it's about giving them that kind of experience through a live class. So in a retirement village, you also get that community feel as well. So you get to do the exercise workout, you get to do the workout together, you get to have a chat afterwards. But not only that, working with retirement villages, the way that Jim's Gym is set up, and as I was mentioning earlier about the sort of the affordability of it, it's a really sustainable solution for retirement villages, in that the sort of difficulties around organising instructors, the price of instructors, whether people are going to turn up on time, this, that, and the other. Well, actually, we've for at least a few sessions a week, we can stick you up onto the big screen in the communal area. You can do Tai Chi for 45 minutes. You can do fitness classes with James, and people can get stuck in that. So it's a real brilliant solution for retirement villages as much as it is for single users as well. So that's what's coming hopefully next with Jim's Gym.
Yeah, are you teaching? Are you teaching every class? I mean, if you're going to be scaling this outward internationally, even, are you just going to be teaching 24 hours a day, or do you have like partners that you work with?
No, I would, I feel quite sort of connected to the US in my own way. I've got family in the US as well, in Arizona and things. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
there's a part of me that would love to sort of crack America, and I think that time zones are difficulty, are more challenging. But it's not to say we could get US instructors, of course. But we would, I think the East Coast is quite an interesting sort of aerial region for me, because actually the time zones isn't too difficult. I host the strength and fitness classes. So my sort of focus is sort of strength classes, balance classes, agility fitness classes, which are all like really super fun. They're not, we don't take anything too seriously at Jim's Gym. It's all a bit of a laugh, and come and do what you can. There's no pressure. There's
Yeah, it
no,
should be. Can't be
yeah,
too
exactly.
serious.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have a fantastic, just an unbelievable Tai Chi instructor called Andy Yao, who takes the Tai Chi classes. There was like 56 people in his class yesterday morning doing Tai Chi with him. It's just brilliant. I have a wonderful, wonderful yoga instructor called Virginia Walker. She runs the yoga classes, and I've got a lady called Amy Smith, also just a brilliant lady, starting Pilates in April. And ultimately, look, I'm no yogi,
Me
and what going back to what you were saying earlier about advice for people starting businesses, is to my biggest thing is surround myself with people that know more about this stuff than I do. And I've gone out of my way to get these experts in to fill the gaps or plug the holes, whatever cliche you want to use, to support me and the Jim's Gym journey, to make it the best possible solution for sort of older adults or people in later life that I can.
Yeah, no, and that's usually the thing that you see with a lot of companies, especially the ones that I talk to, and that you see out there. Someone comes up with a great idea, it does pretty well, and then you start to grow, and you can't handle it all yourself. So you got to get those people who to join you, who know what they're doing and are pretty good
Yeah, of course.
to improve you.
Yeah,
But
so
okay, so yeah, Jim's Gym. How does everyone out there? I know you've said already earlier on, but review with us. How can they get at you and connect with you more, or do something personal with you, or any of the yoga instructors and all that? Just give us all the information.
Yeah, sure. So the best, I think for most people, a lot of people aren't on Facebook, of course, but the best place to start is the Friends of Jim's Gym Facebook group, which is groups/Jim's Gym community on Facebook. So Facebook.com/groups/Jim's Gym community, which should come up pretty easily in search. Otherwise, you can go to www.jimsgym.fitness. And that takes you straight to my website where there's loads more information, information about the classes, the schedule, what time the classes are, and how you can sign up and all those things. And then, those are the two best places. You can reach me by email, James at jimsgym.fitness as well. So reach out if you ever anyone has any questions or would like to know more. Then I'm all ears always.
James Hilton, great to have you. Jim's Gym. I hope you're able to continue to help people, especially older ones. I'm getting older myself. It's amazing how the body catches up with you. So hopefully you're able to continue to help out people for the next several decades.
Yeah, I still don't know how to answer that question when someone says to me, "I'm in your age bracket," and I go, "No, you're not. You don't. No, you don't look that at all."
I do a lot to hide it. I also work with I also work with folks like you who have helped me with my own specific tailored stuff. The stretching, the
nice
different stuff. But
important.
anyway, great to have you on Everything Entrepreneurship, and best of luck in everything you're doing.
Thanks for having me, John. Thank you very much.
You got it.